Cardano must be one of the most thoroughly examined digital currencies out there. The market capitalization of Cardano is right now at more than $16 billion. The organization's local token, ADA, has likewise been filling in prevalence because of its developing use cases. As of late, the organization reported that it has added another element to its blockchain that makes it simpler to perform exchanges. The year 2022 has not been an optimal one for digital currencies. For example, the cost of ADA has been fluctuating somewhere in the range of 45 cents and $0.523 during the most recent 7 days. Subsequent to hitting a high of $1.60 in January, the altcoin began to exchange at lower levels. In spite of the negative market patterns during the start of spring, Cardano had the option to return quickly and keep an uplifting perspective. In any case, after it penetrated the $1.20 mark, the cost of the altcoin began to fall. Is this a gathering zone sign for Cardano or the start of a further negative fall? Peruse on to figure out more. Through peer-audited research, Cardano was worked as the first blockchain stage that can be worked with the fundamental safety efforts to safeguard the information of billions. It is likewise fit for supporting different worldwide frameworks. A consistent ascent in noticeable quality is required for Cardano to keep up with its situation as one of the most conspicuous digital currencies on the planet. In such a hopeful situation, the cost of ADA could reach as high as $1.1308. Assuming that the bears win, the cost of Cardano could tumble to around $0.5993. Then again, on the off chance that the selling and purchasing pressures are adjusted, the altcoin could be at around $0.7555. 2024. The rising number of designers and the developing fame of Cardano could assist with supporting the organization's portion of the overall industry. This would likewise assist with enhancing the organization's arranged drives. On the off chance that the more extensive market goes through an expected administrative or monetary emergency, the altcoin could drop to around $1.0416, albeit the standard cost of Cardano may as yet reach $1.5423. It would be vital to try not to get out of hand. 2025. In the event that the organization carries out an open democratic framework by 2025, it could influence the cost of the altcoin. This could make it lose a portion of its dealers. Notwithstanding, over the long haul, the cost might in any case stretch around $2.6103. On the off chance that Cardano can effectively carry out different undertakings and drives, the cost of the digital currency could arrive at a limit of $3.4952 by 2025. 2030. Specialists at a main monetary firm foresee that the cost of Cardano could arrive at a limit of $5.84 in 2030. They additionally accept that the altcoin will keep on developing. The above ADA cost investigation outline is set to an everyday time period. Towards 2018 Q4, ADA moved in a falling wedge design areas of strength 4 with energy. 2019 opened with a combination that went on for around 90 days prior to breaking out of the scope of 4 cents 5 cents. After it broke out of the reach, the cost moved around 85% into the $0.1 potential gain cost. The new high took out the last critical high, proposing that the negative pattern was finished, and the market is presently bullish. Juncture with the moving midpoints markers portraying a brilliant cross. Likewise recommended there may be an adjustment of pattern. Q1 and Q2 2020. ADA's $0.1 high combination proceeded and made liquidity on the lookout. This liquidity supported the sell that moved and broke the market construction to the disadvantage, hitting an ATL of 1 cent. Before the sell broke, while it was revitalizing down, it made responses at the all-around checked solidification zone on November 2018, which went about as a help presently an obstruction, driving the cost further down to 3 cents. ADA then tracked down help at 3 cents and pushed the value back to 7 cents at a stock zone made on July 13. This supply offset the interest on the lookout and supported the sell drop down to 1 cent. The market made this record-breaking low on WAC 2020 and made a good attempt to purchase, yet got opposed for a couple of days, yet at long last made a help zone, presently going about as an obstruction zone. This obstruction zone denoted the finish of Q1 for 2020. In the early long stretches of April, the cost broke out of the obstruction, retested the zone as a help, held the help. These further drove ADA by 55% to the 5 cents potential gain value, a similar zone made since November 2019. This zone has gotten the cost to regard it whenever it passes this zone. As is normal, the ADA cost solidified for a couple of days at this zone, offered a little to the disadvantage to accumulate request strength at the 4 cents request zone. which worked and pushed the cost 55% into the potential gain at the 8 cents 0.09 zone and relieved the last high, showing a bullish pattern affirmation. After the cost arrived, it made a bull banner cost going from 8 cents to 9 cents for a really long time. This bull banner is a continuation design, which shows that the cost was as yet bullish. The market is simply resting to assemble more interest solidarity to proceed with its transition to the potential gain. And it did in the wake of retesting 0.070 IPA with a long wick. The bull banner finished the Q2 of 2020, which is a decent sign that the cost would be bullish for the following quarter. Q3 and Q4 2021 Q2, which finished with a bull banner, supported a 51.7% increment, driving the cost to 13 cents. Once more, the cost merged as a bull banner, taking a 21.44% action and leaped to $0.155. With the above depicted pattern, ADA valued 755% in a half year from an ATL. Presently, the inquiry is if the purchase would proceed or the bear season is going to begin. The RSI, which is presently exchanging around 72 and 75, making an obstruction, showed that the market is overbought. Thus sells could before long make progress, which it did before the cost found help at a bull banner zone, driving the cost to 29 cents on January 1, 2021, subsequent to breaking every previous high. Q1 and Q2 2021. The year began with a 3-day combination that drove ADA's most memorable, most stretched out purchase to nearly $5 on February 27, 2021. After hitting this ADA shaped a channel-like union, leaving trendline liquidity with a projection that cost would get back to relieve the liquidity and proceed with the purchase from a request stream zone. 2021 Q2 began with a breakout from the channel-like union, driving the cost to hit around $2.45. However, the cost experienced a strong bullish dismissal after making this presentation, returning the cost to the purchase zone. The zone shaped a help that kept and kicked the cost down up to $1.85. At $1.85 it got opposed back to the purchase zone that sent it and couldn't get through the zone once more, further affirming that purchase zone as serious areas of strength for A. The repurchase zone again sent the cost to the safe zone, which tried 2 times and opposed the value back to the help. The help got tried 2 times once more prior to supporting the most broadened purchase in ADA history. These help and opposition zones were the most grounded up until this point, as the obstruction zone and backing zone were tried 3 and multiple times, separately, prior to breaking out in Q3. Q3 and Q4 2021, after ADA's cost pour out of the long-held opposition zone, leaving a behind zone that the market would later revisitation of retest, ADA hit a $3.10 new ATH on September 2. From that point forward, the cost has been keeping a negative design, as it originally came to test a legitimate request block.